News featuring Trump appearing in CNN, Representative George Santos charged, emergency in Chicago, Tucker Carlson new job and more from News Tidbits News Edition. Donald Trump, the former president, held a town hall with Republican and undecided voters in New Hampshire on Wednesday night. He continued to spread false claims of voter fraud, sexual abuse, and debt default, and stood by his assertions that stars have historically been allowed to assault women. He also encouraged Republicans to let the U.S. go into default to pressure Democrats. His town hall was criticized by some as a platform for his 2024 campaign, especially after CNN gave him a chance to speak. Trump has faced numerous legal and ethical issues during his presidency, such as tax crimes, defamation lawsuits, and Capitol riot charges. He has also attacked CNN for years, calling it fake news. Despite these problems, Trump remains popular among Republican voters, according to a recent poll. Tucker Carlson, a conservative commentator and a former Fox News host, announced on Tuesday that he would launch a new version of his show on Twitter. He said he left Fox News last month after the network paid nearly $800 million to Dominion Voting Systems for defamation. He also criticized the news media for being biased and dishonest. Carlson was known for promoting conspiracy theories and disinformation, such as the racist Great Replacement theory, and targeting people who disagreed with him. He also faced a lawsuit from a former producer who alleged he fostered a sexist and abusive work environment. Carlson's move to Twitter comes as the platform has become more popular among right-wing figures and fringe groups, who have used it to spread misinformation and conspiracy theories. U.S. Senator Dianne Feinstein returned back to Washington after a months-long absence due to illness. Her absence had deadlocked the Senate Judiciary Committee she sits on, slowing Democrats' drive to approve some of President Joe Biden's most controversial nominees to vacant federal court positions, leading to a partial Republican blockade. Feinstein's return restores Democrats' 51-49 majority to full strength and could provide crucial support for whatever debt limit bill comes before the Senate, which would avert a first-ever default on U.S. debt. George Santos, a Republican congressman from New York, has been charged by federal prosecutors for making false statements in his campaign finance filings and other claims. He is accused of lying about his education, financial status, military service, and other matters that he used to sell to voters. He faces multiple jurisdictions and investigations and has been called on to resign by top Democrats and some Republicans. Santos ran on a right-wing populist platform in 2020, but his past came under closer scrutiny and he was revealed to be a serial liar and fabricator. He has admitted to some misleading claims, but denies the more serious allegations. The charges do not affect his legal status as a member of Congress. Georgia's national championship football team has declined an invitation to visit the White House on June 12 due to scheduling conflicts. The event is described by President Joe Biden and First Lady Jill Biden as College Athlete Day. The statement from Georgia says the team's schedule interferes with the suggested date, which was provided in an invitation received earlier this month. Georgia did not provide more specifics of the schedule conflict. Some professional championship teams, including the 2021 Atlanta Braves, have made White House visits during the Biden administration. This year's NCAA men's and women's championship basketball teams from Connecticut and Louisiana State, respectively, are scheduled to visit the White House soon. OpenAI, Google, and Microsoft are coordinating with the Biden administration to let thousands of hackers take a shot at testing the limits of their technology. The hackers will be looking to find out how chatbots can be manipulated to cause harm, whether they will share private information we confide in them to other users, and why they assume a doctor is a man and a nurse is a woman. The mass hacking event is planned for this summer's DEF CON hacker convention in Las Vegas that's expected to draw several thousand people. The event will be the first to tackle the large language models that have attracted a surge of public interest and commercial investment since the release of ChatGPT late last year. Companies that have agreed to provide their models for testing include OpenAI, Google, chipmaker NVIDIA, and startups Anthropic, Hugging Face, and Stability AI. The event is not just about finding flaws, but also about figuring out ways to fix them. Twitter CEO Elon Musk has announced that Twitter will soon have voice and video chat features. The call feature on Twitter will bring the microblogging platform into line with the likes of Meta's social media applications, Facebook and Instagram, which have similar features. A version of encrypted direct messages will be available on Twitter starting Wednesday. Twitter will start a cleansing process by removing and archiving accounts that have been inactive for several years. Mayor Lori Lightfoot of Chicago declared an emergency on Tuesday to deal with the surge of migrants seeking asylum in the U.S. since last year. The city has coordinated with local and state agencies to care for over 8,000 migrants who arrived on buses from Texas, but the number is exceeding the city's ability to manage. The migrants face challenges such as overcrowding, lack of shelter, lack of work permits, and lack of federal support. The city has taken actions such as opening more facilities, calling in the National Guard, and criticizing the Texas governor for his inhumane policy. The crisis is expected to worsen as the Title 42 rule, which restricts asylum seekers, is set to expire on Thursday, and the Biden administration has finalized a sweeping restriction on asylum that will be implemented on Wednesday. Kamala Harris, the vice president and a former attorney general, will deliver the commencement speech at the U.S. Military Academy at West Point on May 27, making her the first woman to do so. She will also visit the academy for the first time, according to a White House official. Harris has previously spoken at the U.S. Coast Guard Academy and the U.S. Naval Academy, and will be followed by President Joe Biden, who will speak at the U.S. Air Force Academy and Howard University. Presidents Donald Trump and Barack Obama also spoke at West Point while in office. Elon Musk, the owner of Tesla and SpaceX, tweeted that WhatsApp, a messaging service owned by Meta, cannot be trusted. His tweet was a response to Fouad Dabri, a Twitter engineer, who claimed that WhatsApp used the microphone in the background while he was asleep. This claim echoed the conspiracy theory that Mark Zuckerberg, the CEO of Meta, listened into users' conversations to target advertising, which he denied in a Congress hearing in 2018. Musk also replied to Laura Loomer, a conservative activist, who accused Zuckerberg of hosting a secret election summit with the far left. The article cited a Medium article that questioned the privacy of WhatsApp users, but could not give a final answer to the listening issue. Wendy's is launching an AI chatbot called Fresh AI to automate its drive-thrus. Fresh AI will use Google's cloud-based generative AI and large language models to handle orders and FAQs. Fresh AI will be tested at a Columbus store in June. Google and Wendy's first partnered in 2021 to improve customer experiences with analytics and machine learning. Google's generative AI technology will allow Wendy's employees to focus on making food and building relationships with customers.
Thank you for watching. Please support our efforts by liking and sharing the videos. Don't forget to subscribe to get our regular updates.